Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talking About Balls. I am Justin George, joined as always by Kyle Price. We are here. Sorry for the delay. George is with his son's basketball team right now, so I have to, long story short, I'm running the ship. I honestly didn't know that until about 6:30. I thought George was going to be back for this, and then I have to log in through George's account, get the code from George, and it's a whole to-do. I had to get everything set up. I'm not going to lie, I had to get my TV set up here in my office because I want to watch the Cavs game, so it was a whole thing. But we're here. We're live. It's the 2025 mock draft special. We are going to do a normal intro, go over some topics, talk a little bit about the NBA playoffs, get you guys up to speed there. Then we're getting right into it. I'm going to do my best to share the screen. I have 2 mock draft simulators up here on my page. I'm going to share my screen. We'll do the mock draft that way. Hopefully it works. Never done it before. George and I were supposed to do this together on Monday so I could practice a little bit, but George dropped the balls and we didn't meet. And I'm just kidding. George has been very sick, so I will give him a pass. But no, we were supposed to do this on Monday night, but truthfully, we both didn't have time and forgot. And here we are Wednesday night. We never practiced. So we're going in. I guess the only way to learn is by doing. So that's what we're going to do. With that being said, I always forget that I have to go to different pages. So give me a second. And where are you? There she is. Okay. BS. Easter weekend, had Friday off work. I just enjoyed the weather. It was beautiful here in Cleveland. I was off work Friday, so I just hung out with Teddy. Tara had to go to work, and I hung out with her, played outside. She went down for a nap. I sat outside, read a book, had a couple cocktails, and then Tara and I we did some shopping on Friday. I had to return some clothes, and that was pretty much it. Saturday rolled around. We had some fun with friends. We went over to a friend's house, and all the kids had an Easter egg hunt. It was Teddy's first Easter egg hunt. Last year, she was 2 months old at Easter, so she didn't really have a whole lot to do. So this year, she got to get some eggs and have fun with her friends and play. And that was our Saturday. And then Sunday rolled around, same thing. We went to Tara's family's get-togethers, and she played with her cousins and did an Easter egg hunt again. And had a blast, had a really good time, saw a bunch of family and friends and stuff. And that was pretty much my weekend. And then Monday rolled around, and it was back to reality, work, and did that today, did that yesterday, and I did it Monday. And that's life. I am off on Friday, even though I'm not going to the draft. I took Friday off just because I'm going to be up late on Thursday to watch the draft, and I still feel like it's technically a holiday for me, the draft weekend. So even though I'm not going, I'm still off on Friday. So I will be waking up early to watch Teddy because Tara's mom usually comes over on Fridays, and now she's not. It'll be me, but better than being at work, I suppose. So that's really it for me. Not a whole lot else going on. I went outside today and I cleared up a bunch of branches and limbs from the trees that have fallen over the winter, and I'm basically prepping my yard for the first cut of the year, dreading every second of it. But I have picked up a lot of debris and shit like that, so I'm ready to roll as soon as I get a chance. But would rather just hire somebody, but it is what it is. What about you?
Not too much. I mean, we had a busy weekend, I guess. We had our first MGA outing on Saturday. We golfed at
that was the first one of the year?
Ridgewood in Parma.
Yep, I've been there.
Never golfed there before in my life. First
really?
time. Yeah, first time. And they're doing a giant renovation right now. The entire place. I mean, it looks nice. Like the clubhouse alone looks gigantic. So they put some money into it. The course was in great shape. We got there in the morning. We were there right when the first round of thunderstorms rolled through. So we had wait a half hour or so, but then we got an hour and a half of good weather, and then it rained a little bit longer, and then we got more good weather to finish around. So overall, it's good. It's good to get out and swing the clubs that day. Sunday, Easter, we don't do anything family anymore because the grandparents have gotten older, so everyone kind of does their own little thing. So me and Jess's parents, we all went down to the casino and had their Easter buffet, and we swiped our players' cards, and everyone had a free buffet. So we ate for free, which was amazing. So it's normally a $45 ticket, which was free, and then We took like $200 out, just expecting to lose it, of course. Ended up walking away with 50. So we walked away.
Hey, not bad.
So, and they gave away free gifts that day. I think everyone got like a free, like a vacuum if you hit so many points that day while you were there. So like a little shop vac for your car. So we walked away with money, free food, and a shop vac. So overall, Easter was a success, I guess. Just
that's not too bad. I mean, better than the Popes. So
I mean, yeah, yeah, right. Roll that old guy out there, and then he dies the next day. Jesus. And then fast forward. I've already cut my grass once, so I cut my grass yesterday morning. Actually, yesterday afternoon, I took like a lunch break. I was working from home. I'm down in Cincy now, but took a lunch break. Went out. I raked my backyard because we have these bamboo sticks or bamboo. Basically, after they dry out, it's basically bamboo that the dogs all winter long would just rip and run around like sticks in their mouth. Right. So my entire backyard was littered with these fucking things all over. So I had to rake everything up, throw it away. Spots of my grass were like, I don't know, 1.5 feet tall. Others were very short because where the dogs run. So I cut my grass. It took 2 swipes to go through. Now it's all cleaned up and organized. So I got the first cut done. Now I'm just preparing for it to grow like crazy. Once you take that top layer off, it's just going to grow like crazy. But I needed to get done. So everything looks good. A lot of yard work in the future where they've ran in the winter and kind of muddied up the part. So I got to basically rip it up, resod it, put sand and topsoil down with some grass seed, rope it off, and hope it grows this summer. And so they stop destroying it. But they run around the corner and they basically
dogs are going to do what they do.
They run around the corner. They take it like a fucking horse race track and they rip up all the shit. So it's like it doesn't even fucking matter. But that was my week.
Yeah, we actually had. Go ahead.
I said now I'm down in Cincy. I'll be here. What's up, Adam? Today, tomorrow, and I'll be coming home Friday. I went to the rental car place yesterday. I'm so in with the enterprise people now. Like I'll go in and because I pick up a car once a week, and I'm like, I basically get to pick what I want. So I roll up and I always look at the car lot to see what's out there. And I see a Charger sitting in the back, and I see a Bronco, like a white Bronco. I really wanted to OJ. Highway, right? But I was like, so is the Bronco, the Charger open? And the general manager who I know, he's like, I've been taking the Charger home, but we just got that Bronco today, so I'm gonna take the Bronco. I'll give you the Charger though. So first time ever driving a Charger. Let's just say I did not keep it under the speed limit coming down here today. Basically just get the fuck out of my way. I'm coming through, but it was kind of cool. So yeah.
When we went to Myrtle Beach a couple of years ago, I think one of the cars we got, because we had multiple cars because we had a big group. I think one of them was a Charger. I didn't drive it personally, but I rode it in a few times. It was pretty sweet. No, Adam, what's up, man? Thanks for checking in. We're getting going here. No George.
When I get the gas, it goes. I was like, all right, I can get used to this.
One of my trips down to North Carolina for work, I had to get a rental car, and I go down there, and the guy's just like, "You want this BMW?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" It was pretty sweet. I had a good time with that.
But yeah, that's it, man. I'm here, working now. It's all work, no play. So weekends.
That's it. Down. Yeah, that's life as we get older. All right, well, let's get right into it then. That's honestly it for the BS. Again, I wanted to quickly rip through our normal topics and then get to the draft. We have the mock draft.
In my draft tonight. Someone is not getting drafted.
I have a lot too. I decided to kind of go a little off the rails with some of my picks. A lot of them. Hey, George, what's up? Checking in from the basketball game. I made a lot of picks that in my heart of hearts I don't really believe will happen, but I just thought it was funny to do it as a way to spice things up a little bit. I didn't want to be boring and do a mundane, typical mock draft. So you'll see some of the things that I did. I created my mock draft this week. It's my final and only one that I do. I don't believe in trades in mock drafts. I feel like I believe that's lazy. Because then you're just kind of going, fuck it, I'm just going to have fun with it, which is totally fine. But at least for me, I'm going to take what's 1 through 32, and I'm going to make an estimation on who they're going to pick. I know getting the exact player is hard. We'll be lucky to get 10 picks, right?
This is the first year that we can actually have our picks next to each other tomorrow night and kind of say, I got that one right. I got that one right. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, absolutely. Normally I'm at the draft. My phone's dead. I'm drunk. It's like I'm having a party. Tomorrow I'll be at home. We're doing the live show. Huh?
I'm going to pick a 6-pack up tomorrow and sit here on this cut couch and watch it from my little impromptu living room area and watch.
Oh, you're still going to be in Cincy tomorrow?
Oh yeah, with a beer and with some food. So I'll be having the camera in front of me while I'm eating and drinking, watching.
Yeah, I'm as soon as this ends, or maybe as soon as I get home tomorrow, I'm going to be setting up my little station in my den so I can watch the draft on my big TV and have the whole setup. I haven't done it yet, so hopefully everything goes swimmingly and we'll go from there. But yeah, that's just a reminder for everybody. Tomorrow night we are going to be live for the draft. Probably going to start at like give or take 7:45. I'm solo dadding it until Tara gets home. Teddy usually goes to bed around 6:30, 7 o'clock, depending on the night. So I should be good to go. But I will put her to bed, and then I'm going to get everything set up. And like I said, we should be going on about 7:45. The draft starts at 8. So I want to have a little time to get going and, give people time to check in. I don't want to start right at the same time as the draft. So join us tomorrow if you want. And again, I mentioned earlier, if anybody wants to join in, obviously don't be a hog of the time. we're not looking for a co-host, but if you want to jump in, if you're a fan of a different team, if you're a Browns fan, whatever, if you guys want to jump on to give me your prediction on who a team's going to take, if you want to tell me your thoughts on a pick, I'm happy to get people in. We'll be sharing the code. I think George is going to be with us tomorrow night, I believe. So we'll go from there. But for right now, we're going to get through the show. And again, we're going to do our normal stuff. And then we'll do the mock draft. I'm going to try to do the split screen here. No promises. And we'll go from there. So NBA playoffs are underway. The Oklahoma City Thunder are up 2-0 and have purely and utterly dominated the Memphis Grizzlies.
For Memphis.
I mean, they won by like 50 points on Sunday, game 1. It was just pitiful for the Grizzlies. And the funny thing was, honestly, there was I was watching ESPN the other day with my brother-in-law, and there was a thing on the bottom or they were doing a question with everybody around the panel, and they said, which 1 seed has the toughest matchup? And of course, they're going to have a couple people that say the Cavs, a couple of people that say the Thunder. And my brother-in-law and I looked at each other, and I agreed. I was like, I would have to say the Thunder. Like, I thought the Grizzlies were going to show up a little bit more and be a little tougher. They've been playing really well over the last month. That's how they got into the playoffs in the first place. So I look over, we're talking to each other, and we're both like, Oklahoma City, like Memphis could give them a little bit of a run, not to the point where we thought they were in any danger of losing the series, but I thought Memphis was going to have a little bit more of a fight in them, but it's been embarrassing. So that one's just about over. Next up, we have a 1-1 series with the Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. That series is probably the best one of the whole playoffs so far. Both games have come down to the wire. The first game went to overtime with the Nuggets coming out on top. Game 2 came down to the wire with the Clippers coming out on top. That series has been fantastic. I just wish it weren't starting at 10:30 every night because I'd love to stay up and watch every game. But what can you do? The Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves are also knotted up at 1-1. Game 1, the Lakers kind of came in sleepwalking, got their asses kicked. Game 2, they reestablished dominance a little bit. Them not having a center is kind of proving to be a problem because you have a little bit of size there with Rudy Gobert and with Julius Randle. Not having a true center, they're getting kind of beat up a little bit around the paint. But they managed to win last night pretty convincingly. The scoreboard looks a little closer than the game actually was, but I think the Lakers are going to come away from that series. And I love watching Luka and LeBron together. You guys know me. I'm a diehard LeBron fan. I think he is the greatest basketball player of all time. And that's not just because I'm a Cavs fan. I love Michael Jordan. I want to preface with that. I know a lot of people act like you have to pick one or the other. I love both of them. I just think with my own 2 eyes, LeBron James is the best basketball player that I've ever seen. He can do so much, so well, and better than Michael Jordan. Of course, people can just go to the ring argument. That's great. Bill Russell has more rings than Michael Jordan. There are plenty of other players in the league. Scottie Pippen has 6 rings, just like Jordan. Like, what are we arguing here? Does that really make the best player? Can't you guys just appreciate Jordan and LeBron for who they are? 2 of the greatest of all time. Put them in order of however you want, but they are 1A, 1B, no debate. Anybody that tries to say fucking Kobe Bryant's better than LeBron, just ignore them. They're idiots. Their argument goes up in flames like Kobe Bryant in a helicopter. And
Really?
I had to go there. I had to. I got to defend my man LeBron, but I just appreciate watching LeBron. And obviously, if the Cavs don't win the championship, I will be wholeheartedly rooting for the Los Angeles Lakers unless it's the Cavaliers versus the Lakers in the finals. Obviously,
How poetic would that be? Cavs versus Lakers in the finals?
I would love it as long as the Cavs won. If the Cavs face LeBron and LeBron beat us, I would have to go back to hating him, and I don't want that to happen. So let's hope that it doesn't come to that. The Rockets and the Warriors. Warriors are up 1-0 in that series. Game 2 is tonight. That's been a pretty decent, on paper, looks like a pretty good matchup. Game 1 was close. It was okay. The Rockets tried.
That Curry shot, man. Jesus.
Curry's just really fucking good, and that's been a problem for a lot of teams in the playoffs. This is just Steph Curry. What do you do? Rockets look to tie that series up, though, tonight and reestablish home court. Easier said than done. It's only, I believe, last I checked, they're like a 3-point favorite, and that's not much. So in the NBA, that's pretty much a push. So we'll see what happens there, but that's a fun series to watch as well. But also, they start kind of late, so that sucks. Now we can shift to the East. Cavaliers are playing Game 2 tonight. They're up 1-0 against the Heat. First 2.5 quarters, I would say, it was a little bit of a neck-and-neck game, and then the Cavs pulled away and won by double digits. We were able to put all the bums in at the end. That game's actually getting ready to tip off here in about 8 minutes, give or take, 7:30, but you know how the NBA goes, probably won't actually tip till like a quarter till. But the Cavaliers look to take a 2-0 game series lead over the Miami Heat. They shut down Evan Mobley, which is an interesting tactic by the Heat to basically put all their eggs in the Evan Mobley basket, and they were able to hold him to 9 points, but it did not matter because Ty Jerome, the 6th man of the year snub, came in and dominated the fucking Heat. One thing I will say, and I'm not trying to sound like a pussy and a whiny bitch because I'm a Cavs fan, but in my personal opinion, and again, I'm not trying to sound like I'm being biased because of the Cavs. I don't know. I'm sure you watched the game on Sunday, right?
I watched part of it. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it, though.
Okay, so in my personal opinion, I feel like the refs were really letting the Heat play physical. It's the playoffs. I expect them to let teams play physically. They were letting the Heat do a lot of things, and they were really calling a lot of ticky-tack fouls on the Cavs, and I didn't understand that. It's like, why is it not going both ways? I know the Cavs were getting really pissed, and the guys were bitching at the refs, and I totally agree. But there was definitely a weird one-sided whistle from the refs, and Adam, I agree. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that? LeBron facing the Cavs, the team that he put over the mountain. He was here. We had a great history. He left. Everyone hated him. He came back. He wins us a championship. He leaves again. And boom, they meet. Goddamn. Sign me up. I would watch that all day. But again, Cavs better win if they face each other because the Cavs have a lot of big men and the Lakers don't. So we better dominate. But yeah, in my opinion, I feel like the refs were really one-sided with the whistles in terms of letting the Heat play physically, but not the Cavs. It was strange to me. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist here, but I kind of screamed the NBA going, hey, let's keep this series a little closer or these games a little closer. We don't want blowouts. It felt a little strange. But Cavs were still able to pull away and win by more than double digits, 20, well, not more than double digits, but by like 20 points. The Pacers are whipping the fuck out of the Milwaukee Bucks. They're up 2-0 in that series. The Bucks are toast.
To them in the next round if we both make it there.
I am too, to an extent, but the Pacers are a very streaky team. And I look at when we played them on like the second to last game of the year with our backups against the Pacers starters. The Cavs backups really held their own, and I think it had to go to overtime for them to beat us. Not saying that's every night. Obviously, any given Sunday, teams can have an off night. But I just feel like the Cavs are the better team overall. The Cavs play better defense. Pacers are a very fast team. If the Cavs play defense and hit their shots, I mean, it could maybe be a 6-game series at most, but I feel like the Cavs should be an easy favorite, in my opinion. But right now, they're beating the hell out of the Milwaukee Bucks. Damian Lillard just came back from his blood clot issue he was having, but to no avail. They still lost. Kyle Kuzma was a trade that they made. They got rid of Chris Middleton. He has not helped, and they are looking to get swept. So a lot of people out there saying Giannis needs to demand a trade. I don't know what his contract situation is, but a lot of people are saying Giannis needs to get the fuck out of Milwaukee. Their window is closed. So that'll be interesting to keep an eye on in the offseason between him and Dame Lillard. If the Bucks decide to blow it up, which is possible. The Knicks and the Pistons are tied at 1-1. The Pistons actually had like a 15-point lead that they pissed away in the fourth quarter against the Knicks in Game 1. Game 2, they got a big lead and they held on to it. And, well, they blew it. They let the Knicks come back and take the lead, but then they were able to come back and win the game in the final minutes.
JB special, man. Get the lead and they come back.
Couldn't do it with the Cavs against the Knicks for some reason, but he could do it with the Pistons. Pistons are a very physical team. I know when we did our picks last week before the playoffs started, I like half jokingly said I have the Pistons winning that series because I was trying to piss off my Knicks friends. But I sincerely think that is going to be a very, very challenging series for the Knicks because, again, the Pistons are a physical team. The Pistons have a very good team. They're young, they're hungry, and they do not let you score easily. The Knicks used to be known for that physicality, but they're really not that team anymore. Once they traded for Mikal Bridges, who is actually a very good defensive player, But that hasn't been a good fit for the Knicks. They traded 5 first-round picks for the guy, and he's averaging like 10 points a game. That's not worth 5 first-round picks, in my opinion. Then they traded Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle for Karl Anthony Towns, who, again, is a very good center. He can shoot. He can, score it any way. Good rebounder. He can play a little bit of defense, but he's kind of soft. He's known for being a little soft. So he does not fit their profile. They lost Isaiah Hartenstein, who is a big presence in the paint. And Mitchell Robinson is not good without Isaiah Hartenstein. Jalen Brunson's been doing what he does. He scores. That's about it. And then Josh Hart is just not as physical as he used to be. He was kind of a big defensive presence, and I don't feel that so far in the playoffs. So very interesting series. That one could go down to 7. Who knows? Those are 2 very evenly matched teams. I don't know how much of those games you've been able to watch, but that's been a fantastic series. And then, last but not least, the Boston Celtics are looking to go up 2-0 on the Orlando Magic tonight. And the Celtics will do it tonight without, what the fuck's his name? Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum fell down kind of awkwardly on his wrist on Sunday, and he's been ruled out for tonight. I don't know if it's a serious injury or if they're just doing it to be safe because they don't really fear the Celtics, which is fair. But something to keep an eye on.
But the Magic play the Celtics tough. Maybe even though they lost, they're still the fact.
At halftime, the Magic had the lead. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though they're probably going to win the series, they have to go through the Magic and then, Detroit or New York, who are both physical teams. So if we make it to the finals, Celtics are going to be a little beat up and abused, which is perfect. That's what we need.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the East is tough. The East is a gauntlet.
Oh yeah.
If you look top to bottom, as you mentioned earlier, the Pacers are going to be no joke, assuming that's who the Cavs face in the second round. And then when you go down to the bottom half, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Magic are one of the better defensive teams in the NBA, like top 5. And that's what really saved their season. But offensively, they're really bad. So they're like top 5 defense, but they're like bottom 5 in offense. So that's what hurts them. But if they can figure that out in the offseason, maybe add a couple scorers, they're a team to keep an eye on. They're a young team. I mean, obviously the Cavs, they took them to 7 games last year in the playoffs. And this year they're looking to play a little bit of a spoiler role against the Celtics. Same like you said, I don't believe they'll win the series by any stretch. But if they could stretch that series to 5 or 6 games, it would be interesting. And tonight's the night they need to try to do it. They need to capitalize on Jason Tatum not being there. Don't let Peyton Pritchard or fucking Derek White be the reason your season's going to end. You guys played physical against Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, etc. last year. Don't let Derek White and fucking little-ass Peyton Pritchard, who definitely says the N-word. You can just tell by looking at that guy. He says the N-word, hard R. Don't let those guys eliminate you. Tonight's the night to kind of go out there and establish dominance without Jason Tatum. But it's easier said than done because they still have Jaylen Brown. They still have Kristaps Porzingis. So, it won't be easy, but I think if Orlando can't sneak away with the W on the road tonight, their season's just about over. So that's your NBA playoff update there for everybody. And obviously, when we talk, I don't know, maybe we could do an episode next week to recap the draft, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to check some schedules. I know Tara's doing some weird work Wednesday nights because of our weird schedule. So I'll double check with her if you can. I know you bowl and stuff like that, so we could figure it out if we can't.
Bowling's over.
It's finished?
Yeah, I had my championship last night. We came up short, going for a 3-peat. Womp womp. But the boys tonight are shooting for their championship. So I had both my teams in the championship this year. So they're shooting for their championship tonight without me. So hopefully they pulled off. It'd be nice to have one championship this year. So we'll see. But no, after tonight, it's over until next year, folks.
Then yeah, so I will check with Tara to see what her schedule is for next week, and if we can, maybe we'll do, even if it's a quick episode, to literally just recap the draft. This way, we're not waiting 2 weeks to do it. Then we'll take a week off.
I'll be in Dayton next week, so I can just jump on. No problem with me.
Okay, perfect. Then yeah, let me talk with her. We'll figure it out, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I was just thinking about it. So next time we talk to you guys, whether it's next week or whether it's the week after, we will obviously have more updates on the NBA playoffs because the NBA playoffs aren't stopping for anybody. A quick little signing to mention here for the the Cleveland Browns before draft night is Nick Needham. Doesn't sound like much, but Nick Needham is a slot corner. Not great, not bad. The reason this is interesting is because he was signed just a few days ago, right before the NFL draft. One name that's been tossed around a lot by people of who could be a potential trade candidate for the Cleveland Browns, for whomever, for whatever, Greg Newsome. Greg Newsome is currently the Cleveland Browns slot corner. He is in year 5 of his 5-year rookie deal and unlikely to remain a Cleveland Brown after this season unless he stays for peanuts. He's been good. He hasn't been great, in my opinion. I don't think he's worth a major contract. Bryce has his first baseball game next Wednesday. George, you're going to have to really start to pick, man. Your son or our show? I'm just kidding. No, that's totally fine.
It's bullshit.
But, yeah, I mean, this is getting ridiculous, George. Your kid's really screwing up my schedule. No, we can run without you, man. It's all good.
We have to bring a producer out of the closet and bring Sean back to the table here.
I'll see if did Sean make it back from Vegas? We're going to have to talk with him.
I haven't heard from him in a couple of days. I'm hoping so.
Yeah, I forgot he told me that he was going to WrestleMania, or at least at the time when I spoke with him, he said he was thinking about it. George says, I'm the coach. Well, that's impossible, George, because you're either the manager or you're a coach. You're not the coach. They have managers or coaches. Are you a coach, a hitting coach, first base coach, or are you the manager? Very different things. I'm just kidding. I always bust Kyle's balls about that because Kyle would always say coach.
It's a fucking coach. Who cares?
He would say Tito Francona, the coach of the Guardians, and it would piss Guardian guy Greg off. So we just kind of rolled with it, and it's become a little running joke for us. But yeah, friend of show Sean/Dave, who no one's ever actually met on this show because he's not a sports guy, was in Vegas for WrestleMania over the weekend. So I'd love to talk with him now that he's home.
Give me a picture message of sitting there watching WrestleMania, and I get a picture of him like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, he didn't fucking send me anything. He did text me the other day, though. He was telling me that he wants to go to Book of Mormon is coming to Cleveland for a couple nights in, like, I don't remember, August or something like that.
I do want to go to Book of Mormon. It's a good place.
And he said he wants to go see Book of Mormon with me, so he's going to keep an eye out for tickets. George is the manager. See, George, you got to get that right. We are very, very strict here with the verbiage. Very strict. I run a tight ship. You should know that by now.
Not really, George. We don't care. You can do what you want to.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's honestly, it's just a funny running joke for me. But yeah, so the Browns signed Nick Needham, and
going to use trade bait to move back up into the first.
I don't know if that would be good enough. Again, I'm not believing any of this, but there was that stupid rumor from Bruce Drennan. Bruce Drennan came on, who honest to God, I didn't realize was still like a Cleveland media personality. I knew him from, almost 20 years ago when he was on STO way back in the day. Bruce Drennan came out a couple weeks ago or a month ago, whatever, and said he's got a hot rumor that the Browns had talks with the Cowboys for Dak Prescott. What it would have entailed, he didn't have details. So now Jerry Jones comes out this week and says, we have 2 major trades in the works for the Cowboys. So of course people are running with it and saying it's going to be the number 12. I think they're picking 11th or 12th. It's going to be whatever their first round draft pick is. Again, it's either 11 or 12. It's going to be their first round pick and Micah Parsons to the Browns for the number 2 overall pick and Greg Newsome. There are people out there that are going, that's the trade. That's got to be it. It's going to be Greg Newsome. I'd also heard other rumors of a draft pick and Greg Newsome for Brandon Ayuk from the San Francisco 49ers. I've heard Greg Newsome's name tossed around a lot.
Parsons here in a heartbeat, if we're being honest. I mean,
say again?
I would take Micah Parsons here in a heartbeat.
I would too. I mean, honest to God, if you slide back to the 11th or 12th overall pick, there's some talent there. You could come away with Tataria McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona, might be there, might not. He's probably going to be a top 10 pick, but he could slide. There's so much talent in this draft in the first round.
I have him going. He's a top.
Oh, McMillan.
He's a top 10 pick for me.
I have him going. I think I have. I got to look. I don't even remember my mock, to be honest. I don't want to spoil anything. Oh, I will. Spoiler alert. I have McMillan going to Dallas at 12. So that would be a perfect scenario for the Browns. You could get your quarterback and you get Micah Parsons. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. That's the rumored trade that people are saying now. But then there was the rumor from Bruce Drennan about Dak Prescott for the number 2 overall pick. So there's rumors all over the place. And then Jerry Jones is.
We're not going for Dak.
No, I would hate that personally. But But then there's Jerry Jones stirring the pot, saying that he has multiple trades in the works and blah, blah, blah. And I don't even think Jerry Jones knows what fucking planet he's on, let alone making trades. But we'll see. But yeah, so they didn't want him, but they need him. Nick need him. He is now on the Cleveland Browns. And again, is it a moving the needle kind of signing? No, but with the rumors of Greg Newsome possibly being on the move, signing a slot corner days before the draft, where you would likely trade Greg Newsome if you're going to make a move, which to me, the Browns don't have a 5th round pick. They have number 2. They have number 33. I got it all written down. Give me 1 second here. I could just Google it, but I have it all down because I made a long list that I'm going to go over with everybody at the end of the show here. They have number 33. They have picks 67 and 94 in the 3rd round. 4th, they have 104. And the 5th round, they have no picks. I'm not saying Greg Newsome's only worth a 5th round pick, but maybe they trade him for like a 3rd or a 4th to get an extra pick since they don't have a 5th, is what I was getting at. But I digress. We'll see what happens. Again, could mean nothing because they do need depth at corner regardless. But just the fact that he is a specific slot corner and that's what Greg Newsome plays for the Browns makes a lot of people kind of go, interesting. So we'll see what happens with this. But again, just thought it was something worth noting as not really a huge on the radar type of move, but it's something that you could kind of look back and go, oh, that makes sense now because they trade Greg Newsome tomorrow or, Friday or Saturday.
We're trading our 1st round pick to Baltimore for Justin Tucker.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I'm guessing if they'll take Deshaun Watson, I would do a Watson for Tucker trade straight up.
That would be a great meeting to be in as they change.
Just for the salary cap purposes, that would really help us. All right, everybody, without further age, we are ready for the mock draft special. Now, again, please bear with me. Bring my screen. George and I did not get to practice this, so hopefully this works. Away we go. With the number 1 overall pick, actually, it might take me a second because I have to get these set up, so let me start it. I'm going to share my screen.
I'm going to fuck this up, I feel it right now.
Probably.
Technology in you. You still have like a iPhone 8, I think.
I have the XR.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
all right. So this is Kyle's mock draft. So we are going to go. I'm guessing you can't. All right. Can you see that? I'm going to turn this on my phone.
Okay. Yeah, I could see kind of. Yeah.
I got to hit enter draft room first, and we'll get it going here. Let me open this up.
Got it. Could you have more ads? That's amazing.
It's this fucking website. It's a doozy.
I can tell what you look for.
Let's go to talking about balls. I'm always looking up dicks.
If there's a dildo ad that pops in the right side of your screen, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
No, it's likely going to be clothes. I buy way too many clothes. All right, so we are going to start the draft here. And I got to do this quick, I believe. I don't know how long they have in between the picks. I couldn't find a... Oh, yeah, there it is. We are sharing the screen. Look at that. Cool. And you can still see our pictures. All right. For me in my mock draft, I'm going to go to my list here really quick. With the number 1 overall pick, no-brainer, I am going with one Cam Ward from Miami to the Tennessee Titans. That is my no-brainer pick right there. Now we're going to go to Kyle here.
You'll do one pick, and then I'll go first in the next pick, and then so on and so forth?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do that. We'll go back to back.
Okay.
So let me enter the draft room for you. It's loading. Let me hit start for you. And again, I don't know how long we have in between picks, if it's going to auto pick or anything like that. So we'll try to go quick, but you're on the clock, Kyle.
Yeah, so my first pick for overall, obviously no-brainer, like you said, Cam Ward from Miami, going to the Tennessee Titans.
All right. And with the 2nd overall pick, who does Kyle have?
Pick number 2, I have to agree with Adam here with what's on the board. I really, really wanted Abdul Carter, but I think it's Travis Hunter no matter what.
And spoiler alert for me, Travis Hunter, welcome to Cleveland. With the number 3 overall pick, I am going with just the best player available. When you're picking number 3, I know they have a lot of holes to fill. Defensive line really isn't the biggest problem for them, but I think the Giants cannot pass up Abdul Carter, the edge out of Penetrate State.
Did you say Penetrate State? Nice. I like it.
Oh, yeah. That's what they're known for.
I am in agreement. We are 3 for 3 together here. So I think the Giants take Abdul Carter at number 3.
All right. And the Patriots are now on the clock for Kyle.
Patriots need some help on both sides of the line and an edge rusher, but I think they take Will Campbell out of LSU here.
I don't know if this is a good sign or a bad sign, but we are now 4 for 4 because I also have Will Campbell.
All right.
And defend your pick. What, you guys, you don't agree with me? I'm going with Will Campbell. Next up, this is where...
Hold on, did the draft simulator say defend your pick?
Yeah, it had a little bar to put an opinion, and it said defend your pick. Like, fuck you, mock draft. Just let me pick.
My name's Justin George, bitch.
Yeah, I do what I want. Next up, with the 5th overall pick, there has been a lot of rumbling that Mason Graham would be the pick, but as of the last 24 hours, and I have a friend who's a diehard Jags fan, and he agrees with this, the new heavy favorite to be the number 5 overall pick is Ashton Jeanty, the running back out of Boise State.
Yeah.
So that is who I am going with for the Jags.
I was back and forth on this one only because my next 2 picks are flip-flop from what you have right now, but I'm sticking with Mason Graham there with the Jacksonville Jags.
Okay.
Which leads me to tell you that with the 6 overall pick, the Raiders are taking Ashton Jeanty from Boise State.
That means that old man Pete Carroll gets his new beast mode. I have these picks flip-flopped, but in the same ballpark. I think now the Raiders are going to go with Mason Graham on the defensive line. It's a good pick for them. They need some defensive line help. So that's the pick I'm going with them. This is where I get a little weird here. This is where I switch things up. In my personal opinion, gun to my head, I think Ahmad Membu is the pick. The offensive tackle here out of Missouri for the Jets. But again, I want to have a little fun with this mock, so I am going with another position of need for them and a player that they think might turn into the next Travis Kelce. I know the Jets were really interested in Brock Bowers last year, but did not come away with them. So I am giving them Tyler Warren, the tight end out of Penetrate State for number 7.
Reach.
Big time. But again, I told you I made a couple picks here that I don't necessarily 100% agree with, but I just thought for fun, I wanted to spice it up a little bit.
I have them staying with the safe pick here, the Armand Miamembu there, tackle.
All right, that's a safe pick.
And then at number 8, Carolina, I have them taking Jalen Walker, linebacker out of Georgia.
Good pick. I have the 8th pick here for Carolina, and I agree. I have them taking Jalen Walker, the defensive end out of Georgia. With the 9th overall pick, this is where it could get interesting. They have a lot of needs, and the guy I'm going to give them is not here on this list, so let me try to find him.
Can you search?
There he is. I have Shamar Stewart, the defensive end out of Texas A&M, going to the New Orleans Saints. I didn't think he'd be that far back.
We're digging deep into the hat here for these, aren't we? I like it. With my pick, I got the Saints here at 9, taking McMillan out of Arizona, wide receiver.
Who they very well could come away with, but they did pick up.
The Saints have no idea what they're doing at quarterback right now with this whole Derek Carr thing, but I still think it's a good pick there.
Yeah, I don't think they're taking a quarterback, so I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah. And then at number 10, I got the Bears taking offensive tackle out of Texas, Kelvin Banks.
Kelvin Banks. Now this, and what a fucking bargain for the Bears. I have them getting Armand Membu from Missouri, offensive tackle. And now that takes us to number 11, the San Francisco 49ers. I have the Niners getting a little bit of help on the defensive line, but a guy who a lot of people may not have heard of, Mike Green, the edge out of Marshall. I think this kid's a stud. I really like him. I think he's flown up some draft boards for being a freak athlete and how well he played at the Senior Bowl week. So I am going with Mike Green, defensive end out of Marshall
Shit, no
for
sooner
the
did we talk about the
Niners.
Bears draft. I just got a notification that Steve McMahon or whatever, Steve McMichael, dead at 67.
Jim McMahon?
No, Steve McMichael. He's played for the Bears.
Not gonna lie, I don't know who that is off the top of my head. I know Jim McMahon. I don't know Steve McMichael.
He was also I think he also wrestled.
He was part of that same team, I'm guessing, where they did like the Super Bowl shuffle song and all that.
Well, no, he's played back in. He was back. What year did he play? I forget. But anyways, he battled that. He was like that really skinny guy. Like he was battling a lot of like injury. He also wrestled, I think, in WCW back in the day too. Like it was just for fun.
Oh yeah, now I know. Okay, I know who you're talking about. He just died, huh?
Yeah, he just died. As soon as we mentioned the Bears, boom, he dead. The Bears.
Well, he's
all right,
currently got more life than the Cavaliers because the Cavs are getting smoked.
Yeah, that makes sense. Number 11, San Francisco. I got them going with defensive line too, but Walter Nolan.
Walter Nolan. Let me find him. I don't know where he is on this list. There he is, defensive tackle out of Mississippi. And number 12.
Number 12, I'm going with wide receiver out of Dallas. Texas. I mean, he's close to Dallas. Matthew Golden.
Good pick for the Cowboys, who definitely could use a wide receiver. Next up for me, for the Dallas Cowboys, as I spoiled earlier, I am going with Tet McMillan. Wide receiver, I think he slides a little bit for them, and he is there at... Whoops, I don't want that.
What's up, Steve?
Oh, shit. Yep, okay, got it. All right. What's up, Steve? I can't see comments right now, so if Kyle, you could tell me who says hello. I'm on a different page. Next up, I have for the Miami Dolphins, I have them getting this is a player who, if I'm being honest, if you're a Browns fan, if God forbid the Browns trade back, this kid here has Andrew Berry written all over him. So Andrew Berry likes two things, and I don't mean this like Drake, but he likes them young. He likes to get his players young, and he likes his players to be athletic. So what he does, he looks at their age, and he looks at their what's called the RAS, the relative athletic score. Nick Emmanwori is 21 years old, young, fits the bill, and his RAS score is a perfect 10. So if the Browns trade back, he's a guy who legitimately could be taken by the Browns if they are picking in like the teens or something like that. So this is a guy to keep an eye on for a possible trade back for the Browns. But I don't do trades. I have them getting Nick Emmanwori here for the Miami Dolphins, who are doing a weird, soft rebuild. But I just think Nick Emmanwori is a good fit for them. They could use the help in the secondary. And I just wanted to give you guys a little fun fact about him and the Browns. But I don't think he will be a Cleveland Brown. But if he ends up being one, you heard it here first. Now that gives Kyle the Dolphins.
Dolphins pick for me. They need wide receiver help. I got them taking Will Johnson, Michigan wide receiver.
He's a corner.
No, he's a wide receiver.
Will Johnson?
Oh, he's definitely a defensive back. My bad. I totally wrote it down wrong. Yeah, defensive back. So they got to take it.
Okay, that's what I was making sure. As long as I had the right player, I'll happily click it. I just didn't want to have the wrong guy.
And then I got the Colts back here taking Tyler Warren from Penn State.
All right, Colts definitely need a tight end, so that makes total sense. Now, me selecting for the Colts here, the Colts do not have the option to draft Tyler Warren because I had Tyler Warren go relatively early. Let me scroll down here a little bit. I don't have a whole lot of room to work with, and I don't like that. There we go. All right. I have them also taking a tight end. However, Tyler Warren's gone, so they stick with the Big Ten, and they come away with Colston Loveland, the tight end out of Michigan for the Colts. Next up, that gives us the Atlanta Falcons, who could use a little bit of – they're a nice young up-and-coming team, but they could use a little help, especially on the defensive line. I have them taking Michael Williams, Mikel, the edge out of Georgia. That is who they are drafting at 15 overall for moi. Nice. Next up, Kyle is on the clock for the Falcons, the Dirty Birds.
I got him taking the edge out of Texas A&M, Shamar Stewart. And then with the Cardinals, I got them taking another edge, Mikel Williams out of Georgia.
All right. And next up, I have the Arizona Cardinals. I have them going defense. I have them taking linebacker Jihad Campbell out of Alabama to help solidify their defense a little bit. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, who, in my years and years and years of studying the draft and watching the Bengals, if there's one thing you can almost guarantee, it's that they don't mind a troublemaker and they like the big name splash. They need defensive line help. What bigger name and what bigger problem child to put on their roster than James Pierce Jr., defensive end out of Tennessee?
I like it. You got to find him now. How far down is he on that list of suggestions?
Which one?
Oh, you found him already?
Oh yeah, I already drafted him. He was like he's rated number 30 on their list.
Oh, okay. Well, I got
not too bad.
So Cincinnati for me, I got them taking Mike Green, edge out of Marshall. And Seattle, I've got them taking a linebacker, Jihad Campbell, right there. Jihad, you're a jihad.
Now, for me here, my pick this is just going off of what I've seen on social media. I have seen everybody and their fucking brother. The Seahawks need offensive line help in the worst way, and the top player I have seen them linked to is interior offensive lineman, guard/center, Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State. So that is who I have. I keep sending my buddy Craig Gray Poupon gifts about who he's drafting, and he hates it. He wants anybody but Gray Zabel. So I have just been rubbing that in his face, and I, of course, had to mock it, literally and figuratively. Next up, for me, I have Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay has selected you thought Travis Hunter was the only dual player in this draft, but I have wide receiver / cornerback Will Johnson, per Kyle, going to Tampa Bay here with the number 19 overall pick. And that leaves Kyle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Justin with always a great callback. I appreciate it.
That's what I do.
19, I got them taking, I'm going to mess his last name up, Donovan Ezekiraku out of Boston College.
Let me find him here. Yeah. Close enough. I don't even know how to pronounce it, so that's good enough for me.
Sounded words out in my head. So. And then I got Denver taking running back here, Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina.
North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Here is where I threw in a little bit of a curveball. I, too, have them taking a running back, but I have them taking a guy who I feel like they might like a little bit more than Hampton. I decided to give them, if I can find him here, he shouldn't be too far down. Yes, I decided to give them Ohio State's own TreVeyon Henderson.
Yeah. I'm hoping he falls to us at 33, but I don't know what's going to happen.
He should be there. Again, truthfully, I could see them taking Hampton. I just wanted to spice it up and make a different pick here. Excuse me. But I don't see the Browns taking a running back that early, personally. It's not an Andrew Berry pick. And then it's my pick here, right? Yeah. So I am picking for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have Pittsburgh Steelers. They need a lot. They need offensive line help. They obviously need a quarterback. They could use a running back. But I have them going with their old school, typical way. They need a replacement for Cameron Hayward, who's not getting any younger. They need a little help for TJ Watt. Their defensive line's getting a little weak. I have them taking Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle out of Oregon, with the 21st overall pick. Keep in mind, one thing I'm thinking about, there's a lot of people that are instantly mocking quarterbacks to the Steelers, which very well could be the case. But I've heard some people that claim to know some things that said they don't expect it because the Steelers do not have a second-round pick. They traded it for DK Metcalf. So a lot of people are saying they're not using their first-round pick on a quarterback that's going to be a project because they have holes they need to fill today. And without a second-round pick, they don't really have the luxury of taking a guy to sit on the bench.
Plus, we still have the rumors that they might probably sign Aaron Rodgers here in the next couple of days anyway.
Everything I've seen basically says that as soon as the draft is over, they're signing Aaron Rodgers. They're doing it on purpose to kind of fuck with teams, to make teams think they're taking Dart, they're taking Sanders, they're taking Jalen Milroe, etc. It's to make teams think that they're taking him and maybe try to trade with them and things like that. So it's a smart move. I get why they're doing it. But personally, I'm not falling for it. So that leaves Kyle to pick for Schittsburg.
Well, guess what? We're back to matching again, sir. I got Pittsburgh taking Derek Harmon here too.
Beautiful.
And I got the 22 pick Chargers taking a tight end, Colston Loveland.
Well, Colston Loveland going to Justin Herbert and to play with his old coach, Mr. Khaki Harbaugh. I have the Chargers getting a little bit of help on offense, but not at the tight end position. I have them drafting Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas, as soon as I can find him. I think I just scrolled past him. He is right behind Jody Barron, if I can get him. There he is. And with the 23rd overall pick, the Green Bay Packers, I think this is a classic Packers move. They need a little offensive line help. Who better than to get a nice guy that played in the Midwest, Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, goes to Green Bay at 23. And that leaves Kyle with the Green Bay Packers here at 23.
Man, try not to yawn. I'm sorry. It's a long day. 23, Green Bay. I got them taking Kenneth Grant out of Michigan, defensive lineman. And with the 24th pick, I've got the Minnesota Vikings taking safety. Nick, is it Emmanuel? Is that how you pronounce it?
Emmanuel, yes.
Emmanuel, safety out of South Carolina.
Different player, but same position. I, too, have the Vikings taking a safety, but I have them taking Malachi Starks, the safety out of Georgia, here with this pick. And then at 25 with Houston needs a little bit of help on the offensive line. They've lost a couple pieces in the offseason. So I have them taking, there he is, Tyler Booker, guard out of Alabama.
Nice. I, too, have the Texans taking a lineman. They're taking a tackle out of Oregon, Josh Connerly Jr. to the Texans at 25. And then I got the Rams at 26 taking a DB. Is it Jahdae Barron?
Yeah, Jahdae Barron.
Yep.
All right, Jahdae Barron going, there he is, from Texas, going to the LA Rams. Now, this is my surprise pick here. This is where I'm having a little bit of fun. I have the LA Rams taking Shedeur Sanders to sit behind Matt Stafford and to learn Sean McVay's offense, so Sean McVay gets himself his next hopeful franchise quarterback. Shedeur Sanders, you are a Los Angeles Ram in my mock. Baltimore Ravens are on the clock for me here. Baltimore needs a little help on the offensive line. Their O-line is always kind of a mix. Every year I feel like they're shuffling new players in, new players out. So I have them here getting a guy who, just a few months ago was projected to be a top 5 to top 10 pick. I have Kelvin Banks, the offensive tackle who will likely play guard in the NFL, going to the Baltimore Ravens. Now Kyle's on the clock with Baltimore.
I have the Ravens doing what the Ravens love to do and get those defensive key players back there. I got him taking safety Malachi Starks here at this pick.
He is a Raven.
And at 28, I got the Lions taking a lineman, Gray Zabel, out of North Dakota State.
That's a very Lions pick. Now for me, for Detroit, I have Detroit doing what Detroit does best, and that is getting their fans fired the fuck up. They need a defensive lineman to pair along with Michigan alumni, Aiden Hutchinson. Who better than another Michigan alumni? Kenneth Grant, come on down. You're a Detroit Lion. And then next up, yeah, I think that'd be a good pickup for them. That would obviously get their fans going. With the 29th overall pick, the Washington Commanders, who definitely need a little help on the defensive line, are going with Donovan Izuraku from Boston College.
See, we both got it right.
Yeah, close enough. We're in the ballpark. I'll wait till Goodell butchers it tomorrow night or possibly Friday night.
So I got at 29, I got the Washington Commanders taking Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka.
Emeka Egbuka going to Washington to pair up with Deebo Samuel, to pair up with Scary Terry. That is a hell of a fucking wide receiver room if they come away with Emeka Egbuka.
Imagine that. I mean, just fucking whip it down there somewhere. Someone's going to catch it.
And that's honestly it. Just throw it up. Somebody's coming down with it.
Then I got a 30. I got the Bills taking defensive back Trey Amos out of Ole Miss.
I think he's this way. Yep. All right. And for me, for the Buffalo Bills, I have them also taking a corner, but I have them taking Maxwell Hairston. Rumors I've seen say that they love Maxwell Hairston. They've had him in for meetings and stuff like that. They need the help in the secondary. Even though they just re-signed Tre'Davious White, I don't think that's going to stop them from drafting a cornerback for the future. With the 31st overall pick, I have Kansas City helping their offensive line, which got destroyed in the Super Bowl. I have them taking Josh Connerly Jr., the tackle/guard from Oregon. I think he'd be a good fit for them on their O-line.
Why don't you just go ahead and finish out if you want to?
Oh. And then with the 32nd overall pick, this is where I had a little fun because I have a buddy who's a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Eagles obviously have their pick of the litter here. If you see who's available on my board, they could help their defensive line. They could get another corner. They could get an extra wide receiver if they really wanted to. But again, I wanted to have a little fun with it, and I feel like they are not going to have Dallas Goedert on the team anymore. They need to help themselves in the tight end department, and Mason Taylor out of LSU is that guy. So they are taking Mason Taylor. My draft is complete. And now Kyle is on the clock with the 31st and 32nd overall picks.
We're ending the draft today with 2 back-to-back Ohio State alums. I got the Kansas City Rich Get Richer. They need help on the offensive line. I haven't taken Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. And I've got the Eagles taking another Ohio State lineman, Donovan Jackson, to end the draft.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is our 2025 mock draft. Thank you all for being a part of that. I love doing mock drafts.
I've gone through a draft before, by the way.
I think it is because I'm looking over at the Cavs game and I'm like, all right, let's go. This works. Yeah. And I also think doing it as the simulator like that was really fucking easy. That made it so much easier to go through than normally we sit here with like a pen and paper.
All right, and reference them tomorrow while we're on there and kind of maybe see who's got what right and what.
Absolutely, I have mine. I put mine into notes. I have the whole thing here, 1 through 32. I've got everything there.
Old school. I've got mine right here. A little.
I like that. I did mine. It's on my phone. I was bored. I ripped through that. Now, next up, I wanted to talk about, we'll go back to the Browns paper here, or page banner here, even though it's got Nick Needham. We can disregard that. I'm just doing it because I want to talk about the Browns. We have some comments here. What do we got? We got Adam saying Travis Hunter, no matter what it too. I'm with you. Steve says, what's up? Thank you, Steve, for checking in. What's going on? Media assets. Boom. Okay. So really quickly for the Browns, I'm going to run through a list here. And again, this is a guy, I want to shout him out again. I talk about him almost every week, I feel like at this point. But Jack Duffin, who works for 24/7 Sports is the website. He does a podcast. He is a cap guru. He lives in England. He's English. He's a diehard Browns fan, and again, he is obsessed with the salary cap. He can explain the salary cap. When Browns fans are in panic mode going, we have no money, what are we going to do? He'll explain to you moves the Browns can make that are going to that would free up money, and he's right all the time. One thing he does, because of tools you can have on the internet and analytically and do shit like that, he actually goes through and he does all that testing that I talked about earlier. Andrew Berry likes to take guys that are young. There's a specific age. So anybody that's saying the Browns are going to draft Tyler Shaw, Shug, however you say his name, from Louisville, he's going to be 26 years old when the season starts, or just around there. That is not a guy Andrew Berry would draft, especially not at 33. I'm almost willing to bet my life savings that Andrew Berry is not taking a 25-plus-year-old in the second round. There's just no way. He likes young players. And again, on top of that, not only do they have to be young, they have to have a high RAS score, which is a relative athletic score, as I said earlier. Jack Duffin, I'll show you guys really quick, actually, because I have the screen sharing ability. So let me look up 24/7 Sports. Let me find a page here. I know I'm not sharing right now. I'm just trying to get you guys something. So give me 1 second here. And gotta find Jack Duffin. Of course, as I go on here, there's no Jack Duffin articles. Here it is. Okay. So I will show you guys. Yeah, let me share my screen really quick. Bear with me.
In case you wanted to know, Master P is making an appearance on AEW tonight. Just thought I'd want to share that with the masses.
I've watched AEW about twice in my life, and I don't think tonight's going to be the third time now, especially with that news.
At all. I just saw the little article, and it makes me think of like old WCW days when they just bring out random celebrities to try to make it.
I mean, WWE did that, in my opinion. I have no fucking idea really who Travis Scott is. I've heard the name. I know he like bangs a Kardashian or something.
WrestleMania was horrible. It was fucking trash.
It was bad. It was not good.
The Raw yesterday.
So let's see. What's a good position of need here?
Than both of them.
I didn't even watch. I'm not going to lie. I forgot it was on Monday, and I didn't watch. So let's go here. We'll go with edge rushers. I believe he does edge rushers, defensive tackles, and linebackers in one grouping. So I will show you guys what I look up. And again, he's using his age and RAS guardrails plus other data points to try and predict the players the Cleveland Browns are most likely to draft per position. Today, he looks at edge defenders. And there's a nice little picture of Jack Duff in there. And let me scroll down to his chart.
Did you?
And we're going to see. This is.
You're only sharing the page where you click on edge rushers. Nothing else popped up.
It should get there. Give me 1 second. I got to scroll down a little bit. Oh, that's weird. It's only sharing that one. Okay. Yeah, let me share this tab instead. There we go.
Right now,
where can you see it?
I'm watching
green, yellow, red.
No, I was watching an ad for the Holocaust train that goes into Auschwitz, so that was good. Good timing.
That's a big part of my algorithm.
All right, now I can see it.
There we go. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so this is where he has the Browns 53-man roster. Let me click out of this tab. I don't know why that's showing up. Get out of here. So here he has in green, these are guys that are locks to make the team. Yellow are guys that are in the bubble, and red are practice squad /
we have
cut
no
potential.
Making the team, amazing.
0. We have 0 locks, according to Duffin, and I believe he's correct in that. So really quickly, I will scroll down and show you guys what he does with his chart. So he shows you his scores here. Rounds 1 through 2, ideally RAS, he looks for an 8.0 or higher. And then here, if you look at the age, for rounds 1 through 2. Ideal is 21 and a half years old or less. Okay is 21 and a half to 22. Unlikely, anyone over the age of 22. So that's kind of what he goes off of. Same with RAS. If you look at the ideals, rounds 3 through 7, nobody under a 6 really is who they're looking for. So with that being said, here's his full list. Anybody in red are guys that he basically is saying they're too old or they don't have a good enough RAS. There's little chance they get drafted by the Browns. So he then makes a second chart where he shows you anybody that could be a potential pick for the Browns. So this is what I used personally to give you guys my thoughts on who the Browns could take. And I will quickly read through everything. Obviously, for pick number 2, if the Browns do not trade, I have Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter as the 2 guys they could take. Next up, and I'll show you really quickly, only because I spoke him up so highly, but you get the gist now. You can see, and he does this for every pick, every round. He shows you the Browns pick in orange there on the left in the round, and every player that could be a potential fit for the Cab or for the Browns. But with that being said, let me go to defensive backs and safeties really quick, and I'll show you guys Nick Amanawari, who is a perfect scorer for the Browns. He is like the ideal player for them, but 2 would be way too fucking early to draft this kid. So if they do trade back, Nick Amanawari is truly somebody to look for. Shit, hang on 1 second. I got to find it. It's on a different page. This ad is ridiculous.
You need ad blocker on your computer.
Hey, you're not kidding. I don't use my computer that often, to be honest, so I don't have to deal with these ads, but this is bananas.
Would you like to?
It's like a whole fucking YouTube video about the Holocaust popping up.
You in Strongsville? I'm waiting for that ad to pop up.
No, those I use a separate private phone for that kind of stuff, so that you won't see on here. Unless it starts reading my mind, which is very possible with technology these days. Here we go. All right, so I found the safety page. Let me open this one up really quick. And again, I'm just going to show you Nick Amanawari because he is a perfect player for the. everything. We have our roster. We have all your scores. And then we have potential picks for the Cleveland Browns. Right there, Nick Amanawari. He is 21.22 years, and he is a 10.00 on the RAS athletic scale. Perfect player. As you can see, Travis Hunter, a little old. He's almost 22, so he's just in that okay threshold, and they do not have an RAS score on him, so that's why he's gray. Gray means 50-50, basically. But assuming he is the pick at number 2, but I just want to show you guys that that's why I have Nick Amanawari as a name to look. If they trade back into the first round even, because of how highly rated he is, if they trade back into the first and Browns fans are like, holy fuck, they're going to take Shedeur Sanders or, Jalen Milroe, whomever, maybe a quarterback, and they come away with Nick Amanawari, if you're sitting at home, I don't want you guys to be shocked. That's why I want everyone to know this guy's name. If they trade back into like the 20s or something like that and they take a safety, I don't want you scratching your head wondering why. But this is the chart that I use. If you guys want to use it too, it's free, 247sports.com. Look up the Cleveland Browns, find Jack Duffin. He did every position except for quarterback. Maybe he'll release that tomorrow. I really don't know why he didn't do quarterbacks. Could be because the RAS doesn't really matter that much for a quarterback. But age definitely does. And obviously you can Google the age of a quarterback wherever the fuck you want. So with that being said, really quickly, here are my picks for the 33rd overall pick, some potential players. I have Josh Connerly, the tackle out of Oregon. I have Jonah Saviena, the guard out of Arizona. Mason Taylor, the tight end out of LSU, I think would be a good fit with David Njoku. I have James Pierce out of Tennessee. If he falls, I think he'd be a good asset to put next to Myles Garrett. I have Quinshon Judkins, running back out of Ohio State. Azraya Thomas, cornerback out of Florida State. Maxwell Hairston, cornerback out of Kentucky. Shedeur Sanders, I have him listed at 33, but I'm speaking that as if the Browns trade back into the first. I think they could get, if they can get Shedeur Sanders in the mid-20s, I think I'd be okay with that, as long as you don't have to trade a lot to get him. A couple other potential picks for 33rd overall. I do have Jackson Dart and Jalen Milroe as potential fits. In the third round, we have picks number 67 and 94. Some names to look out for. Ashton Gillott, defensive end out of Louisville. TJ Sanders, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. Jared Wilson from Bama, center/guard. Harold Fannin Jr., the tight end out of Bowling Green University. Terrence Ferguson, tight end out of Oregon. Dylan Sampson, running back out of Tennessee. Jalen Noel, wide receiver out of Iowa State. Jalen Royals, wide receiver out of Utah State. Jacob Parrish, cornerback out of Kansas State. And Kevin Winston Jr., safety out of Penn State. Fourth round, I have DJ Giddens, running back out of Kansas State. Damian Martinez, running back out of Miami. Savion Jones, defensive end out of LSU. Jordan Phillips, DT out of Maryland. Danny Stutzman, linebacker out of Oklahoma. Smail Mondun Jr., the linebacker out of Georgia. Torrey Horton, wide receiver, Colorado State. Ty Felton, wide receiver, Maryland. Jackson Slater, guard out of Sacramento State. Jalen Reed, safety, Penn State. Fifth round, we have no pick, but again, if we trade back into the fifth round, a couple names to look out for. Baron Sorrell, the defensive end out of Texas. Antoine Powell-Ryland, defensive end out of Virginia Tech. Jalen Travis, offensive lineman from Iowa State. Miles Frazier, guard from LSU. Luke Kandra, guard Cincinnati. Orandre Gadsden, tight end out of Syracuse. Deontay Thornton, wide receiver, Tennessee. And for the record, I am going to read every name on this list because anyone that I hit, I want credit for, because you heard it here first. Sixth round, we have 4 picks in the sixth round. That's why I could see us trading up. I could see us packaging up a couple of those 6 and maybe a 7 to get into the fifth round. But look for these names. Kobe King, linebacker, Penn State. Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, defensive end out of Georgia. Ty Hamilton, defensive tackle out of Ohio State. Jordan Hancock, cornerback out of Ohio State. Caleb Ransaw, cornerback out of Tulane. Hunter Wohler, safety, Wisconsin. Fadil Diggs, defensive end, Syracuse. Teddy Buchanan, linebacker, California. Jamon Dumas Johnston, linebacker out of Kentucky. Connor Colby, guard, Iowa. Jalen Conyers, tight end, Texas Tech. Thomas Fedone, tight end, Nebraska. Jalen Lane, wide receiver, Va Tech. Taj Brooks, running back, Texas Tech. Another name to look out for on day 3, I think, could be potentially Kyle McCord. interesting quarterback prospect for the Browns. Runs a lot of play action from Syracuse. Would be a good fit for Stefanski. Would be a third white quarterback in our quarterback room. That seems to be all we're interested in.
Cleveland.
Slow white quarterbacks that cannot move. We want them all. And in the 7th round, I have a handful of picks here for potential guys to look out for. Donovan Edwards, running back out of Michigan. Chamir Dyke, wide receiver, Florida. Keandre Lambert-Smith, wide receiver, Auburn. Benjamin Urasek, tight end, Georgia. Jason Marshall, cornerback, Florida. Keaton Crawford, safety, Nevada. Colin Oliver, defensive end, Oklahoma State. And Tonka Hemingway, defensive tackle, South Carolina. Those are some potential people to look out for. I did a lot of work.
I like it.
So those are some people to look out for. I just wanted to get a list for every round. Obviously, every year, once a round finishes, I readjust my board on potential people. If someone's missing, if somebody has already been taken, whatever, I readjust. If the Browns take a wide receiver, if they take Travis Hunter, obviously, I don't expect them to draft 2-3 more wide receivers. Some of them will come off the list, vice versa. If they take a defensive end, I'll take all the defensive ends off the list because they're probably not going to take another one. So plenty to do in the next few days. I cannot fucking wait for tomorrow night to do the draft special with everybody. But with that being said, I have nothing else. I don't know if you have some names you want people to look out for. If you have a list, if you want to do it tomorrow.
I haven't done much research past round 1. I'll probably start looking in around 2 and 3 tomorrow, like I usually do going into the weekend. But I just prep for the first round. I was going to say that, do we have anybody who's confirmed that they want to jump on with this yet tomorrow?
I've had a couple soft interests. I don't know how interested people will really be because they're going to have to get in front of a camera and do all that shit. And I could see a lot of people not wanting to do that. But worst case comments will be there.
Cavs just went on a Cavalanche, by the way. They're up 39-30.
Yeah, I've been watching. I'm very happy about that. Nice start to the second half there, or second quarter. But yeah, no, I've had a couple people interested, but again, I think we'll have more interest in the comments than we will in the actual having people jump on with us. Just again, I think people aren't going to want to set up a camera or things like that. So I could see the comments being bumping, which is fine with me. If people just want to text in their thoughts or their opinions, and we'll go from there. We'll clearly read everything and we'll give our thoughts as well. So I cannot wait to do that. Before we do just the tip, I messaged George earlier. I do have 2 just the tips this week. One of them I don't have a picture for. It's just a recommendation. If you guys are interested in the draft like I am, I cannot recommend enough the Beast. Dane Brugler, who works for The Athletic, he puts together a fucking 500-plus page report on almost every player that you're going to hear drafted and then some. There are going to be undrafted free agents that the Browns sign, and you're going to go, who the fuck is this guy? The Beast will more than likely have a full rundown of that player. Dane Brugler puts in so much effort and work. It is incredible. If you get a chance to look it up, there's probably some promos going on for The Athletic. I think I pay $1 a month. It's pretty cheap. It's amazing. The Beast is truly great. He goes through every player at every position. Again, guys that are expected to not even get drafted, he'll give a full write-up on. And he compares how he thinks they're going to match up in the NFL, who they can be compared to, every fucking thing, pros, cons, size, hand size, weight, everything, what high school they went to. He does a ton of work, so I highly recommend checking that out if you're interested in the draft. You probably don't need it for day one. Day one is, you pretty much know everybody that's going to get taken in the top 32. But once you start getting into day 2, day 3, that's where there's a lot of guys that get taken where you're like, who the fuck is this? I'll have guys that text me and be like, who the fuck is this guy after the Browns make a pick? So I highly recommend, not that I mind telling people who, about a player, but if you're interested at all, I recommend getting the Beast because then you don't have to text a friend and say, who is this? You don't have to use Google. He'll give you a full rundown. You can go, oh, shit, now I understand why the Browns took this guy. Dane Brugler says he's projected to be a 3rd-round pick. The Browns got him in the 5th. What a great deal. Or, whatever. So much fucking information in that. I can't recommend it enough. So check out The Beast. And Dane Brugler's a local guy. He's a Northeast Ohioan. He's a diehard Cleveland Guardians fan. But, again, he is my favorite draft pundit that I follow by far. So check that out if you get the chance. But now we will get into the real just the tip.
Speaking real quick, though, do you know that when the Cavs go on a Cavalanche, they make it snow in the arena?
No, do they really? I haven't been to a game this year, to be honest.
My buddy who's just at the game sent a picture, and I'll send it to you. Let me send it to you real quick here. I laughed at this. Like they went on a Cavalanche, so they took it and they let me see here. I can take this forward photo to. Let me find you.
Sam Merrill just hit a 3.
I'll send it to you in a second here.
Okay. I did see the Cavs are finally embracing the Cavalanche word because they just started selling T-shirts now that say Cavalanche on it. But I feel like we've been saying Cavalanche for 2 seasons now, and they're finally trying to market it. So
I just
took them long enough. Okay, hell yeah, I'll check it out. I have a scam likely call coming through right now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, nice. My tip is a video game, which is I did not know about this game until I saw our friend of the show, Sean/Dave, playing it. Because I can see other people play on like their PC games if you're friends with them. But it's legit what it is. It's a drug dealer game. So imagine it's a character. You start off in an RV, kind of like Breaking Bad, where you're selling just weed, right? You're making weed, so you have to grow the weed in the weed plant. You have to cultivate it, bag it, put it together, go sell it to people. You build up a network. You get dealers to work for you. You give them money to pay them to deal for you. You grow your empire. Right now, I'm making meth and crack. I'm selling meth and crack, and you can eventually get into coke and all this other stuff and rival gangs. Like it just progresses and progresses. It's right now I've got 2 labs. One lab's making coke or crack. Another one's just growing weed with a bunch of fucking weed plants, and you can mix stuff together. You know, you can combine like gasoline with whatever in a weed to try to make it more potent for people to buy it. It's insane. My recommendation is if you want a fun game that just blows your mind with the level of detail, it's not only on a computer, and unfortunately it's only a computer, but
I was going to ask what platforms. Okay.
It's on PC, but it's so much fun. Like I'm sitting there going around like trying to rush and cops come out and you can get like arrested and shit like that. So but anyways, Schedule One, check it out if you're in a PC player. It's a fun game. It passes time. It's like $19, but it's just so much fun.
I mean, you really can't put a price on drug dealing games, so I'm all for that. If I PC gamed, I would be all about that. To be honest, that sounds pretty fucking funny. The tip this week is a comedian who, as we talked about weeks ago, months ago, whenever we knew his second special was coming out, he released them in like, I forgot, January or whatever. Jay Oakerson did, Big Jay Oakerson. And just on Monday, he released the part 2 of his special.
It's on Steam, Casey. Yeah, it's on Steam. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't see the comment. Oh, yeah, Steam. I kind of want to play that game. It sounds fun as fuck.
It's so much fun.
But my pick this week is Big Jay Oakerson's newest special. He has 2 of them. Again, it's they, them. But part 2 just dropped this week, and in my opinion, I think it might be funnier than part 1. I thought this was really fucking good.
I watched it yesterday. Laughed my ass off.
I laughed so fucking hard at this thing. Jay Oakerson's great. I've seen him a couple times live. I went with Kyle. Funny as fuck. He does great crowd work. I think he's the best crowd work comedian out there. He's legit. There are other comedians who put up like their little clips on TikTok or whatever the fuck of doing crowd work. There's guys like Matt Rife who try to do crowd work, but it's all just like, I don't know, not funny to me. Jay Oakerson does crowd work and he fucking crushes it. And if you want to laugh, it's only an hour long. Highly recommend checking it out. It's free on YouTube. Just have to watch a couple ads, but it's well worth it.
Who the couple was, the old guy and the girl? Do we ever figure out?
She definitely was kidnapped because they were so fucking weird when he started asking them that that relationship did not make any sense. When he said blink 15 times if you're fearing for your life, and then he's like, oh, it's okay, guys, she's good. She only blinked 13 times or whatever. I fucking laughed so hard. He just kept going back to him, and he's like, ma'am, are you safe? When he talked to the one dude, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that wants to watch it, but when he went to the dude who got up to take a piss, and he was talking about how he's like, oh, this guy's in there shitting, and they have speakers, so he hears us talking about him shitting. He's like, that. There's no way you wiped well. He's like, you got out of there so fucking fat. Like, it was just, he's so good, dude. I can't recommend it enough. It made me laugh my ass off. So check it out for sure. They, them. Check out both specials, to be honest. But Jay Oakerson's funny as fuck. Check them out. They're great on YouTube for free. And if you feel so inclined, there is an option to donate some money to Jay Oakerson because, again, it's a free platform. All these comedians nowadays release specials on Netflix. They release them on Hulu, whatever. His goes right onto Netflix. It's free. So if you throw him a couple bucks, I'm sure it goes a long way for him. But support Jay Oakerson. He's a fucking fantastic comedian. And that is it for just the tip. Now we
watch the game.
Yeah, I'm excited to check out the Cavs game. It should be over here. It's nearing halftime, but we are finishing a little early. Normally we'd go till 9 o'clock, but we wanted to get this episode done because we do want to watch the Cavs playoff game.
What time? And 7:30ish.
Say again.
What time do you want to jump on tomorrow? Like 7:30.
Yeah, 7:30, 7:45. I got to get Teddy to bed and then get some stuff set up for it. So I would say 7:45 at the latest I'll be on, because I figure we can bullshit in, behind the scenes. And then once we actually go live, we'll be all set. So that'll be, the draft will come out. Goodell will come out and talk at like 8:05 or whatever and say Tennessee's on the clock. And then they're going to take 15 minutes to make their pick, even though they know it's Cam Ward. It's a whole fucking project, whole to do. So we'll be on. We're going to talk. I can't fucking wait. It's weird watching a draft from my house. I haven't done that since COVID. And even that one was extremely weird because there was no actual draft. So I didn't technically miss the draft that year. And then for Kansas City, I was with my friends in Disney. So I haven't watched a draft from my own house willingly in 20 years. Yeah, 2005 was my first draft. So 20 years since I've sat at home to watch a draft willingly. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited, though. I'm glad I'm not going to Green Bay because the weather looks like it's going to be cold and shitty, and it would have cost me thousands and thousands of dollars to be there. And I could stay in Cleveland for free. So I will. We will talk to you guys tomorrow. I can't wait to go live. Go Cavs. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, a little bit because we're going to have plenty of time to kill during the draft. But again, if you guys get a chance, I recommend getting The Beast by Dane Brugler. If you're interested in the draft, it's going to teach you everything you need to know. You're going to be so fucking prepped for this weekend. You'll be showing off to all your friends about all the knowledge you have of these players. And, take it from me. I recommend it. So we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow night for sure. If you guys want to jump in with our draft coverage. And if not, maybe next Wednesday we'll do a recap show, or the weekend after. We'll figure it all out. We'll keep you guys posted. But thank you guys so much for watching our 2025 mock draft special. We'll see how many picks we got right tomorrow. It'll be fun. That's what we go for. And we will talk to you guys then. So have a great night. Cleveland, this was for you.